Moving on, it is approximated that more customers are envisaged to opt for card payment solutions, even as financial inclusion continues to deepen. Top bankers meeting at the ongoing Cards and Payments Conference in Nairobi are optimistic of increased uptake of cards, mainly driven by affordability and improved cybersecurity. But just how are cards poised to compete with more favored mobile payment solutions? Here's more on that story.
Social challenge of the bank.
When bankers met to take stock of the growth of card payments in the region, one of the issues that dominated the talks was the need to rope in the unbanked population. MasterCard Vice President for East Africa, Anthony Karingi, says the uptake will continue to soar, even as more banks continue to roll out card payment services.
If we don't figure out a way using things like blockchain technology and some of the other tools that are out there, others will come in and literally just the cheese will have moved entirely.
Financial inclusion cannot be done in isolation. We are an interoperable player. We believe in a global loop, open loop system which allows as many players as possible to come into this system and participate in whatever way they can.
In the US, 40% of the volumes, not value, volumes of transactions are still cash. And in the UK, 48% of the volume of transactions are still cash. Now, if that's the case in the two of the leading world economies which had all this infrastructure, you can imagine what it is in Kenya, despite all our hype about the mobile telephony and the
card transactions accounted for 654.7 billion shillings of payment in the first 6 months, but its adoption in the country has remained rather sluggish compared to mobile payments, which accounted for 1.3 trillion shillings during the same period.
Merchants' acceptance is critical. Typically, banks and other players have focused on a certain level of merchant because, of course, the commercials make sense around that level. We need to start addressing transactions at a slightly lower level, going for the micro merchant.
Card security has been a major hurdle for vendors and banks to get over the mobile payments, still viewed as being more convenient and safer to use. Kenya is among the countries that recently moved away from magnetic stripe cards technology to chip and pin cards. The big switch was geared towards bolstering card security. With the government keen to encourage electronic payments, banks have been going all out to lure customers to use prepaid debit cards as a start to get them to adopt card payments. This was most evident during the switch to cashless payments for public transport, with cutthroat competition from banks to issue cards to new members. This drive has reached a stage where banks are now partnering with various merchants such as supermarkets and entertainment hotspots to roll out debit cards. Abi Agina, KTN Business.